the team has at least been a bit of a surprise. Last year was the Montana men's first winning season in 3 seasons. It ended with the Big Sky Tournament Championship and an automatic berth in the NCAA tournament. And it's continued to this season with a 10-2 record, the best among Big Sky teams. Have the conference hunters turned into the hunted.
Maybe a little bit of a target on your back, knowing you've won your fair share of games, but the slate's really clean right now. It's 0-0 in league. Everybody knows that. These guys have been coaching in the league a long time, and players know what we're all playing for is to win our conference championship, try to host a tournament, and go on from there.
And conference.
Bear with me, I left my voice at home today. The Griz start their run at a Big Sky Conference title tonight at home against Idaho State. Idaho State was picked near the bottom of the league in preseason polls, but they were a little better than expected in the non-conference schedule. The Griz were red hot in the non-conference slate. Andrew Strait and Kevin Criswell emerged as elite scorers, and they both are excited for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely really excited. We've had a pretty good preseason to prepare us, but it's all behind us now, and we're looking ahead to the league. We're trying to get ready for these first couple games and improve and just move in and get a good head start.
I mean, it's definitely nice that non-conference is to see where we're at those first 2 months, and me being here for a few years, it's nice to win the majority of those games and just get us on a roll. I know against Milwaukee we didn't win that game, but I know we played well enough to win that game.
To help you get to sleep fast, while the second layer dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep, so you can wake up and get ready for your day. New Ambien CR is one of many treatment options in addition to lifestyle changes that you and your doctor can consider. Ambien CR is non-narcotic. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Do not use sleep medicines for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before you need to be active again. Ask your doctor about the new Ambien. New Ambien CR. Tomorrow will thank you.
I was just getting to the good part when Uncle Ernie dropped his tons. Oh, I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in moo shoe heaven, and I had my eye on a spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete. Look for our coupon in this Sunday's paper.
Visit Jeopardy.com to find out all the ways you can play America's favorite quiz show. Take Jeopardy wherever you go when you play on your mobile phone, or play online and challenge yourself with clues in a variety of popular categories. Download the...
After 10 wins and 2 losses for Montana men's basketball, they're back to 0-0 in conference play. The Montana men opening the Big Sky season against Idaho State tonight. Lady Griz enjoying the game with a phone call. Early, Andrew Strait down low. Strait gets a bucket, and the Bengals player gets an Oscar and 2 Golden Globes for the fall. Akbar Abdul-Ahad to Slim Million. 2 great names, 2 points. It's 18-10 Idaho State. More Slim. Criswell throws it to the $1 million man. Lee Majors eats your heart out. It's 20-14 Bengals. The Griz would go down by 12 until the alley-oop to Matt DeLuey. Million stops it, but you know what? That's goaltending. I'm going to give it to you, DeLuey. And it counts. Score is 26-16 Idaho State. More Griz. Kevin Criswell drives. He gets the hoop and the foul. He would make the free throw. It's 28-35 Bengals. Bengals shot 57% in the first half, 40-31 there, but the Griz kept battling. Bengals led by only 4 at the half. Criswell had 19. Strait had 18. Matthews 13. The Montana men start conference play with a 4-point
chance to start the Big Sky schedule with 2 home wins. It would give them a fast start on the league race. First up tonight, Idaho State, and please bear with me with my voice here. We'll see what we got going here, but Idaho State was on fire early. Slim Millen lit the night up with 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. ISU led by as many as 12. Right before half, Virgil Matthews gets a big bucket in the foul, and then things get heated as Virgil and Logan Kinghorn exchange words. It's 40-36 Idaho State at halftime. Second half, here come the Griz. Kevin Criswell, a big 3. and the Griz are back in the lead by 1 point. Criswell had a big game, and he sealed the big win with a layup with 55 seconds left. He had 19 points and 9 rebounds. Montana wins at 80-76 tonight over Idaho State. After the game, Virgil Matthews said nothing was easy tonight.
It wasn't easy. It was hard. We didn't shoot, so today we just got a little chance to use some of that.
Speaking of nothing easy, how about the guy doing the sports that can't talk, huh? How about Montana? Still have a lot of the roster from the team the Griz played in the Big Sky title game last year.
I'm Coach Tinks' scout, Weber, so I don't know the first thing about him at this point. I know they've got 3 starters back from a team that we played in the championship game last year, so we're going to have our hands full.
News from Griz football today.
Again, it's 42-38 Montana. Criswell had 15 points tonight, but Virgil Matthews had a double-double, 19 points, 13 boards, and the Griz win 71-65. The next game they play is against the Bobcats. So let's see.
News station.
Hello, everyone. The Griz continue to climb in the polls. Montana is 10th in the new mid-major poll. The Griz are 12-2 following their 2 Big Sky wins last week. Of course, this week it's round 1 with Montana State. Today at practice, the Griz were stressing defense. They feel like Montana State is shooting the ball well, and they have to fine-tune their defense. They want to be ready for Saturday.
I think Montana State plays a lot on instinct. You know, Mick keeps it pretty simple over there, and those guys have been successful. They look to really push the ball in transition, and they've got some capable players.
Oh, it's definitely a fun week. Get to go back to my part of the country a little bit anyway, going back to eastern Montana. It's just nice to show Bozeman, because I didn't get recruited by them, so it's always nice to play in the game and just kind of show them what they're missing out on.
Well, here's the mid-major poll. The Griz are 10th. Milwaukee is 7th. Blaine Taylor and his old Dominion squad also having a good.
Montana men played the Bobcats in basketball, the semifinals of last season's Big Sky Conference tournament. The Griz won by 12, but lest we forget, that was payback for Montana's 2 regular season losses to the Bobcats. One was a 10-point loss in Bozeman, and the first, a 2-point loss in Missoula, when Jerron Jefferson hit a 3-pointer with no time left on the clock. So even though the Griz have the last win, they do want more.
Well, we're just looking forward to beating them one time in the regular season. Like last time they came here and beat us home and home, so hopefully we'll get both games this year and the tournament game.
Virgil Matthews averaged a double-double for the Griz in the last 3 games, but the reigning Big Sky Player of the Week for this Cat Griz, the Bobcats' Jerron Jefferson. Mid-major poll today, Old Griz coach Blaine Taylor has ODU at 4. Wisconsin-Milwaukee moves up from 10 to 7, making space for the Griz at 10.
It took a little air out of our sails and was hard to get really energized in the crowd. So we'll play this one on the road and come back and do the return game here when we have some students. I think guys will have a better sense for it.
Attendance for the Cat Griz in Missoula last season.
It's revenge for the teams this weekend, sort of. The Grizzlies look to redeem themselves in Bozeman. They haven't won there since 2002. Montana did beat Montana State in the Big Sky tournament last year. Both teams have been on a collision course at the top of the conference all season. The team hopes to get off to a good start in a hostile environment.
People get comfortable in their confines of their own arena, and it's familiar and everything, you know, the background, and you get in a new place on the road with some people screaming, and you know, you need to step up to the plate and make those shots.
So here's the lineup for the Montana State games Friday, tomorrow.
A great defense for a team that is on an 8-game win streak. One thing the Montana men are not struggling with is shooting. The team is making 50% of its shots, 8th best in the country. And maybe one of the few places they've had problems with in the last 2 conference games is getting behind early.
I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, we need to start talking about the first half when we get in the locker room before the games, because we can't come out and keep winning going down the first half big like that.
It's got to be a little bit of a concern for us anyway, especially early in the conference. You know, going to Bozeman and playing in that hostile environment, you know, if we get down early, it's real tough to come back from that.
Coach Kristoviak says he hasn't addressed it because he isn't really worried about it, saying sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw. After holding out because
conference openers going 2-0, but for senior Kevin Criswell, tomorrow's game is a little personal. The Colstrip native has never won at Worthington Arena. Saturday night, he can change all that.
We just have to focus on ourselves, getting ourselves ready for a big game in Bozeman. It's going to be a hostile environment, and you know, me as a senior has to show these guys what it's going to take to go in and get a win in Bozeman.
the only senior who's been with the Grizzlies these last 4 years is playing what might be his final game in Bozeman tomorrow, a place he's never won.
I mean, I haven't won there yet, so I mean it's my last opportunity unless they win the tournament to get a win in Bozeman. So it's a little extra moment incentive.
Virgil Matthews is the only other senior playing for the Grizzlies. He's a junior college transfer and has played in Bozeman only once last season. Points, an average of 14. It's GrizCat Part 1. Anything you can do, I can do better. As scheduled, the Griz go down early. Nick Disley for 3, and it's 5-0 Cats. Then marvelous Marvin Moss leans into Jordan Haskett, and it's 14-7 Cats. But as scheduled, Montana survives the early Bobcat run, and it's 34-30 by the half. Bobcat lead. Rubbing in the football a little bit at the halftime. Second half, Disley with a Bobcat surprise behind the bat to Baye, and then it was a DeLuey jubilee. Right here, steps up for 3 points. It's 44-40, Bobcat lead. Then a little while later off the kickout, DeLuey again for 3. The Grizzlies lead 59-51. DeLuey off the inbound pass, 3 again. He had 19 points tonight. The nail in the cat coffin though, 2 minutes left. Brian Ellis steals it from Durham, then lays it off for Virgil Matthews running down. The Griz shoot 68% in the second half, win it by 16. Durham and Ellis on the steal that sealed the deal for the Griz.
And I got kind of lackadaisical with my ball handling and kind of sparked them a little bit with those 2 steals. And I mean, I just got to be a better player at that time, and I don't know.
I wanted to just get up and just try to, you know, make him do things that he wasn't used to doing, which is probably handling with a little pressure. So I just tried to get up in him and play the best defense I could.
Montana State did battle in men's basketball. It was the Grizzlies earning a trip to the Big Sky title game in Portland. This afternoon, a matchup eagerly anticipated across the state. Both teams playing very well and trying to stay undefeated in conference play. From Worthington Arena in Bozeman, Coach Larry Kristofiak, some words for Kevin Criswell. First half, Bobcats start hot. Casey Durham, Derek Edmonds for 2, and it falls 16-7 Bobcats. Some defense here. Rejection. Matt DeLuey on Jerron Jefferson, then Brian Ellis. Turned away by Taylor Pratt. He has ups. Montana then ties the game at 16 here. Virgil Matthews for 3. Back and forth throughout the first half. We go to the second, and the Cats start hot again. Tic-tac-toe, Albay, slam dunk. Monster slam, 41-34 Montana State. 2 straight threes from Casey Durham, and the Bobcats are up 7 early, 47-40. But Montana, they creep back. Matt DeLuey, magically delicious, 3 of his 19 points, 47-44. And then Brian Ellis sparks the Montana comeback, steals the ball from Casey Durham, puts it home, breaks the 50-50 tie. Cats would just score 2 field goals in the last 8 minutes, then Ellis another steal, and here's the exclamation point. Virgil Matthews puts it home, 73-62, and the Griz get the victory. They're staying undefeated in the Big Sky Conference, 80-64. Coach Larry Kristofiak spoke after the game.
He got an instant replay out of it, but it didn't go his way. 20-16, 9:37 to go. Major pressure out front for Criswell. Haskett gets it over to Brian Ellis. Virgil Matthews also in the game. Chavez posting up still, and Jordan Haskett, the freshman out of Missoula, hits a 3-pointer, and he can hit that shot. Just ask Stanford. In the big game at Missoula, he hit several big threes. Haskett with the 3. It's a 1-point game, 20-19. Marvin Moss backing in Haskett, and you can tell the Bobcats like that matchup. Disley in the corner. It's Durham for 3, and it's long. Haskett bats the rebound to Brian Ellis. Against Brian Ellis. And there is a turnover. Virgil Matthews has it. Grizzlies have numbers. Matthews pushes it. Virgil Matthews goes in for the dunk. He does not get it. Haskett has it, though. And Jordan Haskett goes up strong and scores the basket. 5 points for Jordan Haskett, the freshman out of Missoula Sentinel High School. It's a 6-point Grizzly lead. Disley has it. Marvin Moss now against Haskett. They find Casey Durham for three in the corner. It's no good. Haskett has the rebound. Ellis walks it up. Good patience by the Grizzlies here, up 6 with about 6 minutes to go. Ellis against Casey Durham. It's a zone situation defensively for the Bobcats. Brian Ellis had a lane, dribbled it off his leg. Now he takes the baseline shot. Jordan Haskett gets great position, fights for the rebound, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow for Montana.
Jordan Haskett being very active down low, doing a good job of getting Montana's second opportunities at easy buckets.
Coach Kristoviak thought there might have been a reach in a little bit. As you see, Coach there, the all-time leading scorer for the Montana Grizzlies. Played several years in the NBA. Matt DeLuey hits the three. Nick Disley fell asleep on defense. Matt DeLuey buries the three-pointer. 17 points for Matt DeLuey. What a game for number 11.
And that is a big shot there from 6 to 9 points. And all by Jordan Haskett grabbing that board and giving the Grizz another chance at putting some points on the board.
Jordan Haskett playing very aggressive. This is the most aggressive I have seen Haskett so far this season. We'll take another look at it. And Disley fell asleep defensively right there. And DeLuey buries the three. That was a big bucket.
Yeah, Disley was looking the other way, and DeLuey with great court awareness, recognizing that and just stopping and popping.
A screen out top by Andrew Strait. Haskett for three. He got it! Jordan Haskett hits a huge three. It's a 9-point game. Haskett has 8 points, and he can shoot that three despite the fact he's a big man. He can step out behind the arc, and Haskett is fouled out of the game. We're going to take a short timeout.
Reason to smile. Meanwhile, Bobcat fans left scratching their heads, wondering how do you stop that Griz offense? The Bobcats started well, but after Taylor Pratt injured his right arm, the Griz came back. They were down by only 4 at the half, then shot a red-hot 68% in the second, spreading the wealth. 5 Grizzlies scoring in double digits, including Matt DeLuey, who scored a game-high 19 points.
We tried to shut down their shooters. For the most part, we did a good job of it, trying to keep everybody in front of us. We wouldn't have to help too much. And I think probably 75% of the time we executed our game plan perfectly.
All right, Paola, get out your pen. Here's where they stand. The men's conference, Sac State and Northern.
Largely because of point guard Casey Durham. When the Grizz stole the game halfway through the final frame, Durham was reluctantly involved as well. His 2 turnovers changed the contest. The cause was Brian Ellis. He jump-started Montana 2 victory with 4 steals and 12 points. He had some help from 5 players who scored in double figures, including Matt DeLuey's 19. The Grizz fought back from 9 and 7-point deficits before they took the lead for good halfway through the second. Now the team stays on the road for 2 tough matchups with Northern Arizona and Sacramento State.
They're the 2 names that are above us in the conference standings, so they have something that we want. They've got a couple road wins.
Yeah.
They play well at home. It's going to be a real difficult challenge for us.
The Lady Grizz State.
College basketball today are Duke 1, Florida 2, and the Grizz have something in common with both of them. All 3 are among the best shooting teams in the country. There was no better example of it than this weekend when the Grizz shot 68% in the second half, 57% for the game against the Bobcats. In all, 5 different Grizzlies scored in double digits. Jordan Haskett just missed it with 8 points, and it's this, the team's ability to spread the scoring around, which helps them shoot so well.
Probably the characteristic, if you look at all those teams that are leading the country, is probably their willingness to share the ball, and you don't have people that are forcing shots and lowering that percentage. We'll pass up, oftentimes we'll pass up what would be considered a pretty good shot, and somebody's trying to set up their teammate to get even a better shot.
The leading shooter for Montana, Andrew Strait, his 65% shooting is 13th best in the nation mid-major poll today. Despite the weekend win, the Grizzlies are...
Sophomore Andrew Strait, the center, still 6th in the country in field goal percentage at just over 66% from the floor. And with his 16 against the Cats, he's now scoring 17.4 a game. And through last week, Strait was 2nd at Division I in shots made, his 108, behind only Louisiana Tech's Paul Millsap. Grizz on the road this week in a battle for first in the Big Sky at Sac State and at Northern Arizona. We'll, of course, course, hear from the Griz and Cats coming up tomorrow. And some big surprises over the weekend.
Test of the season in style. Virgil Matthews slam dunk with just a few minutes left put the period on the Grizzlies' win as the team improved to 3-0 in conference play. Coach Larry Kristoviak's crew weathered the Bobcats' hot shooting until halfway through the second half. That's when some game-changing plays from Brian Ellis and Matt DeLuey put the Grizzlies ahead to stay. Montana stays on the road this week. They face Northern Arizona and Sac State, the only other two undefeated teams in the Big Sky Conference. Here is the mid-major.
Hello, everyone. Well, the Bobcat game led to the stardom outcome of Brian Ellis. Who knew Ellis would single-handedly turn that game around with 6 straight points that Coach Kristoviak calls the magical minute? Ellis' 2 straight steals have made him a household name in Griz Nation. It's interesting to hear his side of it. This kid was always a star at every level, and Coach says his early bench time was real difficult for him to handle.
Brian's an easy guy to cheer for, you know. He's not a guy that's going to separate himself from his teammates. He's come with a pretty solid approach all the time, you know, and tried to do it through his actions on the floor. He likes to distribute the ball. He'll pass a ball to one of his teammates and tell him, you know, do your thing, or, you know, try to encourage guys even when things aren't going well for himself.
When I came in here, I had, like you said, I had expectations. You know, I thought I could help this team and do what I know how I do and do what I know what I've been doing for years. And when I came in, I sat on the bench probably for like the first time in my life. That was very rough for me. That was a very tough time for me. But I mean, like everyone told me, you know, just stick it out and just, you know, maintain it. Just kind of check your ego.
What a game he had. Well, Coach Kristoviak was a key Saturday as well. He won the coaching battles, particularly the X's and O's of the game. Coach joins us for his first Chalk Talk of the year, and tonight he breaks down an out-of-bounds play that helped seal up the big win in Bozeman.
Okay, so 6 seconds to go on our shot clock here with just under 3 minutes to go. I felt like we could maybe take advantage of Montana State being in a pressure situation, so we ran our triangle offense out of the timeout. We send our point guard to the corner. Our 5-man, Andrew Strait, comes down here, and so we're in our triangle.
Okay.
Matt DeLuey comes down and set a screen for Virgil. And I asked for Virgil to make sure he came up slowly so he could be overplayed. You see on the play, his man comes up here distally and overplays.
What are we doing?
Matt DeLuey comes back in what we call our backdoor step option. Kevin Criswell makes a nice pass to Matt, and then Virgil's going to go on a backdoor pass here. Nice little layup opportunity with this side of the floor clear. So we got to the free throw line. I thought it was a nice momentum play, helping to keep some of the momentum on our side.
Best dressed coaches 5 of the last 6 years. Unfortunately, it didn't help him win. Today, Oliver announced he is stepping down at the end of this, his 8th season with the Bengals, losers of 6 straight games. One thing you can always count on in the Big Sky, who's Brian Ellis? The junior point guard came out of nowhere with 12 points and 4 steals. As a junior college transfer, Ellis says it was hard at first coming off the bench for the Grizzlies, but now watch out for him, especially on defense.
It's a big adjustment. The biggest adjustment I think for me was defensively. Like I had to make adjustments defensively because junior college is more up and down, you know, not as much screens.
It hasn't been, you know, bed of roses for him up to this point. He's been put through some challenges. He's gotten better at guarding the ball, which was a big element, keeping the ball in front of him, you know, and not losing vision when his man didn't have the ball. And he's improved those areas, knew he needed to play, and now he's able to get on the floor with more confidence and let some of his strengths really come shining through.
Shine through. His defensive play shouldn't be too much of a surprise. In junior college last year, Ellis led his conference in
men's basketball, the feat didn't go unnoticed to the pollsters. This game-winning shot by Kevin Criswell at Sacramento State on Saturday saved the Griz from what would have been a devastating sweep. Instead, they are alive and well in the rankings. So the mid-major poll looks like this. Gonzaga is still number 1, getting all first-place votes. The Griz drop only 1 spot to 11, right behind Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Southern Illinois. The main
Sacramento State. Kevin Criswell's layup with 7 seconds left sealed the deal. Sacramento was favored in that game by 1 point. I just got back from Vegas, you know, I'm thinking about it. Right. Yeah, now the Montana men get 2 home games this week, starting with Portland State on Thursday. But what did the first conference sensation? He leads the team in scoring, but you don't need to look at numbers. To see a change in Strait, just look at him. This is Strait as a 230-pound freshman at Montana. Not too bad, but move over, Bacon. Here's something bigger. Andrew, as a stronger 250-pound sophomore this season, you can see the difference. But what you can't see is how Straight is growing into his role as a young leader on a great team.
A lot of times they listen to me in a way where I don't even have to say anything, you know, just, you know, if something goes wrong or something, you know, I'll just give somebody a little bit of encouragement. I don't need to get on them a whole lot.
Yeah, he's kind of a quiet leader, you know, and that's one area that he's going to have to improve on as he matures, you know, the next couple of years. Is, you know, he's a relentless worker. He's very unselfish. And then along with his skills, you know, these naturally guys are going to follow his lead. So I think he needs to realize some more things he can do vocally.
Coach Tinkle says he spent 2 years recruiting Straight out of high school. He knows him, and so he isn't surprised by Straight's success this season. One thing that did surprise Coach Tinkle and most everyone else, Kobe Bryant's 81 points.
The golf season. It's the Buick Open in sunny Southern California. Tiger skipped the Mercedes Championships this year, so this is his latest debut yet since he became a pro, and he is in 57th place at 1 under par. He is only
fired up. Christian Reed has your sports up next.
Coaching staff from a year ago, but they played a great first half tonight, although the Griz played better. Andrew Straight, the leading scorer, gets a hoop and the foul. Griz take a 5-point lead, 15 for Straight. Kevin Criswell was effective again, 7 of 11 on field goals, 3 3-pointers, 22 points. Coach got teed up tonight, but his guys responded, up 6 at half, and the bench took over in the second half. Stuart Mays came off the bench, 10 points in 14 minutes for Stuart Mays. Mike Chavez, 8 points in 16 minutes. And the Griz roll in this one, 98-77. Coach Kristoviak happy with all contributions tonight.
Volume up when you're done with 14. Obviously, you play 7 at home, 7 on the road, and I think, you know, the successful teams in your league certainly have to win your home games. I was happy with the energy. Guys came out, and it was an all-around performance. Our team, a lot of guys got involved.
The Bobcats also get a win tonight over Eastern Washington. Montana State playing better.
Griz head coach Larry Kristoviak knew all about Rodney Stuckey heading into tonight's game with Eastern Washington. The Eagles freshman with NBA potential has taken the Big Sky Conference by storm this season, leading the league in scoring. But Coach K knew something else. His Griz have something Eastern doesn't, depth. A great matchup this evening at Dahlberg Arena. Which would win out, the single player or perhaps everybody involved? This is Andrew Straight there, putting that home, 2 of his 19. Then Kevin Criswell, we may have the wrong end, I believe we do. So let's just go to the scoreboard. This is, I believe, a different game. Montana wins 78-72 over